Hi, let me take you to a very interesting office project today. So this is not a new project, this is almost a 4-year-old project which looks absolutely new. So now a few things I want to share about this project are, for example, the client already had taken designs from 2 architects which he did not like. So I understood what he wanted. So basically this was a very small 900 square feet space. In this he wanted a reception area, waiting area, accounts department, 3 director cabins, then they wanted a conference room, then they wanted a huge director's room, then they want almost 4 to 5 workstations, then a pantry. So now in 900 square feet with 2 massive columns, it was almost a challenge. And so I'll just take you around what we did. So what we did was, one thing is, instead of using very solid partitions, perforated vertical panels, then we've tried and use almost white light textures in the entire office. We've not used colors which are very dark because they actually make the space look small. Another thing we've done in this is the light was actually coming from that side of the project. We've used everything which is prefabricated, customized. So everything was going simultaneously, the planning as well as the execution and the manufacturing of the prefabricated products. अब जैसे ये आप देख रहे हैं तो स्पेस बहुत छोटा है, तो हम लोगों ने बहुत लाइट कलर्स यूज़ किए हैं. एंड व्हाट आई हैव डन इज़, इन एवरी स्पेस यू विल सी वी डोंट यूज़ एक्सेंट कलर्स which don't brighten up the space, but they add a little life to it. But हमने यहाँ पे वो भी नहीं किया. But I've added fuchsia in this chair. If you see, we've used textured wallpaper, and again there are a lot of tips I would like to give. जो हमारे wallpaper के rolls आते हैं, so they are certain width. So what we've done is we've given grooves at a certain level so that the wallpaper, basically joints, are not visible. And then again, another tip is always use contrasting textures to highlight another texture. So what we've used at the base is a very rough texture on the wall, which has been again, highlighted by the PVC panel, which has a very glossy and smooth effect on it. So now this is the reception area. We've given a small reception counter here with a waiting here, and then you move to the accounts department. And we've tried to make, get a lot of light inside every room. So if you see this entire wall, instead of actually blocking it, the entire light is coming into it. Then most of the spaces in the office have been created with glass partitions rather than solid blocks. Another thing, since we had time constraint, तो हमने क्या किया, we've used, instead of using matte melamine and veneers, we've used this Unico brand film. I'll just show you the film. So this is the film. It's just almost 2 to 3 hours of job. So what we've done is we've given grooves, and this ceiling almost looks like as if it is polished in matte melamine, and it gives a very nice effect. In the entire office, as I explained, we've not used solid partitions except few spaces. But what we are doing is, हम लोग या तो बहुत सारा glass use कर रहे हैं, or I've given these vertical partitions. Basically, what, again, the time constraint was there. So what we've done is, these are MDF panels on which we've done this Unico film wrapping, which was again done in a very short while. Then this is the waiting area. Usually designers do is, either they design something which is along the column. So what I did was, I used this column space to actually divide my spaces rather than creating, walls along it. So what we did is, light is coming through this. This column has been used in a manner where the pantry is just behind it. Okay, this is second director's cabin. And again, what we've done is, we've kept the palette very neutral. We've used white, creams and beiges only, and highlighted the spaces and certain walls with textures. For example, we've used textured wallpaper. Then the ceiling has been done with the Unico film. To give a very warm and demarcate the spaces, we've used wooden flooring in all the director cabins. The remaining common spaces are all tiled surfaces. So let me take you to the MD's cabin. Friends, now let me give you a few tips on how to create or make a space look spacious, an office space. So I'll just give you quick tips. One is use let natural light come in, don't block the light at all. Second is use as much glass as possible so that light is going on to all the corners and every cubicle of the office space. Third is use as many neutral palette colors as possible. Avoid using dark colors because they make the space look claustrophobic and they are light absorbing, so obviously you can avoid using dark colors. And fourth tip is use as much plants as much as is possible. Let a lot of oxygen be in the office spaces. These days the office spaces are very closed glass chambers only. So these are few tips on how to make small office spaces look spacious. I'll give you a few tips on how to deliver a project in almost 10 to 15 days, an office space basically, where there are not much of civil or wet works required. So what we can do is, one is the planning plays a very important role. So make sure you plan all the items and all the materials which are to be used well in advance. Second, try and allocate as much of your furniture part to factory made furniture as possible so that it will speed up the process. Third is try and limit using wet materials like paints or polishes, for example matte melamines, using veneers which will require matte melamine polishes. They'll take up time to dry up. Avoid using POP finishes. So you can use a lot of wallpapers instead of paints. You can use film instead of going for wood finishes. There are a lot of nice interesting Unico brand films which are available in the market. Then we can use to demarcate spaces, instead of going for different tiled surfaces, we can actually go for wooden floorings or carpeted floorings in office. If you want to know more about commercial or residential spaces, please contact us at the following number. Thank you.